2023 was a horrendous year for Hollywood. Just when the entertainment industry was poised to make a comeback from the COVID-19 pandemic, a series of disasters struck that rivaled even the most destructive Michael Bay movies. Blockbuster films with bloated budgets bombed brutally at the box office, threatening Disney's dominance. Streaming services struggled to stand out in an extremely saturated field, even as traditional TV inches closer to the grave. And sustained strikes shut down studios as writers and actors walked the picket lines to fight for their rights. Now, the year wasn't all doom and gloom, but industry leaders need to face some harsh truths if they have any hope of avoiding a catastrophic 2024. Now, when it comes to movies in 2023, we should start with the ones that didn't bomb because that won't take very long. The Barbenheimer phenomenon elevated two films that, on paper, one wouldn't necessarily expect to outperform every single superhero movie of the year. But somehow, a brightly colored comedy about a toy's existential crisis and a 3-hour biopic of a nuclear physicist set the box office ablaze. Meanwhile, the Super Mario Bros. Movie scored $1 billion globally, while horror flicks continued to earn a hefty profit, thanks in large part to their humble by comparison budgets. But beyond that, yeah, it's not good. Marvel, once an unstoppable juggernaut, finally entered its flop era. Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, and The Marvels both took a hit at the box office, with the latter doing so poorly that Disney CEO Bob Iger decided to throw Nia DaCosta, the first black woman to direct a Marvel movie, under the bus. Real classy. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 did okay, but its director, James Gunn, is about to jump ship to run rival superhero brand DC. And boy, does DC need it after Shazam! Fury of the Gods, The Flash, and Blue Beetle. We can argue for hours about whether we're finally experiencing superhero fatigue, but comic book movies are far from the only genre that's struggling right now. Indiana Jones was a disaster. Elemental and The Little Mermaid barely eked out a profit, and even Wish, an animated Disney movie designed to celebrate the company's centennial, was a total wash. If you don't count the main pandemic years, 2023 was the first time Disney failed to release a movie that grossed more than $1 billion globally since 2014. Now, one thing most of these bombs had in common, besides not being very good, they all cost upward of $200 million to make, even if they hardly look like it on screen. From costly reshoots to crunching special effects artists, studios spent more to make less in 2023. And if you think you need hundreds of millions of dollars to make heroes shoot colorful lasers at each other, please note that Godzilla Minus One only cost $15 million and looks like this. Quantity over quality seems to have been the motto of 2023, and not just in theaters. Streaming has its own set of problems too. Disney Plus has begun to buckle under its own weight, with shows like Ahsoka and Secret Invasion failing to achieve the mainstream appeal of The Mandalorian and WandaVision. HBO Max became Max in 2023, merging HBO's programming with trashy reality TV fare and killing the brand's prestige faster than its CEO kills completed movies. It too is only getting deeper in the red, just like Peacock, Paramount Plus, and literally every other streamer not named Netflix. Netflix is doing just fine, but it had to crack down on password sharing, raise prices, and introduce a membership tier with ads to do it. Its competitors are following suit, which seems ill-advised in times of high inflation and bad economic vibes, but hey, that's why executives get paid the big bucks. And if the workers want a bigger piece of the pie, they'll have to fight for it, which is exactly what they did in 2023. Greedy studios, disruption from streaming, and the looming threat of AI-infused entertainment was the perfect recipe for a lengthy labor dispute. In May, the Writers Guild of America called a strike, demanding minimum staffing guarantees, higher residuals, and protections to stave off our synthetic media future, among other goals. SAG-AFTRA, the actors union, followed suit in July with similar goals. It was the first time both unions have walked out at the same time since 1960. Thousands joined the picket lines as Hollywood screeched to a halt, and as the weeks turned into months, the studio showed little signs of weakness. In any other moment, the unions might have caved, but 2023 was the year that labor showed its true power, with strikes by everyone from Starbucks baristas to United Auto Workers. The writers and actors were supported by an unprecedented solidarity from nearly every other union in the business. By November, both guilds had won fair new contracts. Now, the effects of that lengthy shutdown will no doubt ripple into 2024, but given the disaster that was this past year, maybe that's for the best. Hollywood has grown fat and complacent on the back of crowd-pleasing blockbusters, leaving artistry behind as executives and algorithms chase the next billion-dollar hit. It might be time for a new Hollywood, driven by fresh talent with bold new visions. And if it happens, we'll have 2023 to thank.